Step 2, we are moving on to finding sources, and this is going to involve helping students understand how to find reliable sources efficiently. So the first page, where to find the sources, is going to be a little bit more of a review for some of these students because in 7th grade they did discuss this when they did a little bit of research. And so they did talk about the general internet searches and how to evaluate websites for reliability. And so I did provide another video for them just to kind of review. Mentioned Wikipedia and how that's just a definite no-no in regards to using Wikipedia articles for academic research. And then we talked a lot about library databases. This is a big thing because we want them to use more of the library databases. So I did provide another video for them to watch about what library databases are and how they're helpful, but I also included a screenshot of the library databases that we have through ClassLink for my district, and so that way they can kind of see what they're looking for, and I was able to provide some notes about the specific databases that we have access to. Just to check for understanding, I did want to give a formal evaluation in this form of a multiple choice quiz, so that way I can make sure that everybody's on the same page, because there may be a student that comes from a different district or whatnot and didn't have this information beforehand, and this would be new for some of those kids. So just wanting to make sure that they have some sort of check for understanding before moving on. And then we move on to effective search skills. And the first part about this is going to be talking about developing keywords or search terms that they're going to use based on their specific research topic. And so this video, all of these have been so far through the OS/LIS secondary videos. This series kind of has all these broken down, and this one is helping them understand how to generate search terms, thinking about the different terminology. Maybe there are some synonyms that they could think of for the terms that they've used in their research topic. And they will submit a list of keywords to this assignment here. And this is specifically coming to me. This is not being shared with any of their classmates just yet. So I can kind of just check to make sure everyone's on the same page before moving forward, where they will have some more opportunities for student-to-student feedback and checks and things like that. So this next page is Boolean operators, and then we'll move into Boolean modifiers, and these are to help them narrow down their searches, and so using the words and, or not, and they have never learned this information. So I wanted to make sure they had a detailed video on how Boolean operators and Boolean modifiers work, and the McMaster Libraries system has put together this how library stuff works video, and so I've used this Boolean operators video here, and it has some great graphics, as you can see on the still, and it just kind of helps them understand how to use Boolean operators and how it can help them find their sources and find this information efficiently rather than wasting time to search through all this data. When they have determined that they understand Boolean operators, they're going to post their research question as well as 5 ways they're going to use Boolean operators to search for sources to a discussion board. So this is going to provide their fellow classmates with their research question and different ways to use Boolean operators, and then they're asked to actually go and comment and question and start discussions on other people's posts as well. So that way they can maybe somebody has come up with a Boolean operator, like a form of using it that the student didn't think of, and so they're encouraged to kind of start these conversations about that through the discussion board. And then we have the Boolean modifiers, similar to the Boolean operators. It is set up in the same way so that you can see the consistency. And so you do have the chart and what the modifier is and the usage. And then you have the How Library Stuff Works video. And then here, I've asked them to post 2 ways they will use Boolean modifiers and then comment on at least one of their classmates' posts so that they can start a conversation about it. And then the last thing is going to be this Boolean cheat sheet. And this was actually developed by the McMaster libraries. And so it ties back to the language and vocabulary that was used in the videos. So it kind of is a quick little way for them to fall back to, okay, now we understand what they are, but I just need a quick refresher. So this infographic has been really helpful because students are able to see very quickly the Boolean operators and the modifiers and then what they do and an example of them. And this has been step 2, which is finding sources.